What if everything you thought about illegal immigration was wrong? What if the people crossing the English Channel aren't who the media says they are? And what if, when no one is watching, they openly admit the real reason they come to the UK? In this explosive episode of the Triggernometry podcast, hosts Konstantin Kisin and Francis Foster sit down with journalist and broadcaster Patrick Christys, known for his investigative reporting on GB News. The title of the episode is The Truth About the Migrant Crisis, and what you are about to hear may change the way you think about the future of Britain. These are not vague ideas or political talking points. These are real stories, real facts, and real consequences unfolding right now across the country. Patrick Christys has spent time on the ground, speaking to migrants, following the smugglers, and digging through the system the government refuses to fix. Here are the 10 biggest takeaways from that conversation. Takeaway 1. What migrants really say about Britain. Patrick Christys went to Calais and surrounding areas to speak directly to the people trying to reach Britain. What he heard from them shocked him. Many migrants admitted openly that they were not fleeing war, persecution, or danger. They were coming for the money, the housing, and the benefits. One Sudanese man simply said he wanted a house and cash. Another Eritrean man revealed that his parents were sending him money from Eritrea to fund his trips, even though he had left them and his wife behind in what he vaguely called a war zone. These men were not desperate refugees, but confident travelers chasing opportunity. When asked why they wanted Britain, most gave the same answer. They believed they would get generous benefits, face almost no chance of being deported, and enjoy a better life than in France or Germany. None of them mentioned the UK's weather, culture, or values. This was not about freedom. It was about rewards. This single point reframes the entire conversation about immigration. These are not random boat arrivals. This is targeted movement by people who know exactly what they are doing. Takeaway 2. Migrants choose the UK on purpose. The decision to come to Britain is not an accident. It is a strategy. Migrants pass through multiple safe countries to get here. Some even travel through 7 or 8 nations like Austria, Hungary, and France before arriving at the Channel. They know where they want to end up. Patrick explained that many of the men he met understood exactly what the UK offers. It is not just about housing and benefits, but also the fact that Britain is seen as soft. Migrants know there are activists and lawyers ready to protect them. They know there are no serious deportation efforts. In their minds, the UK is the final prize, not just another stop. These journeys are not made by accident. They are planned with purpose. Takeaway 3. Illegal immigration is a growing system. What shocked Patrick most was how much this crisis now runs like a machine. Migrants are not wandering blindly. They are part of a growing system with defined steps and contacts. From the Middle East and Africa, they use routes that bring them into Europe. Once in the EU, they get passed along. There are known locations, camps, and handover points. In Calais, there are massive warehouses filled with tents and people waiting for their turn. Some are even fighting each other to claim spots on boats. Sudanese and Arab gangs clash over limited spaces. Migrants without money wait by lorry parks for a free ride. It is not chaos. It is organized. Takeaway 4. How TikTok is helping traffickers win. Human trafficking is now social media powered. Smugglers advertise crossings on TikTok like fast food deals. In one example, Patrick and his team contacted a trafficker through TikTok, got moved to WhatsApp, received PIN locations, and even found job offers in the UK within minutes. One trafficker shared videos of successful crossings and also disturbing ISIS content, including beheadings. These are not just smugglers. They are often extremists with assault weapons and deep networks. And yet, they operate freely. TikTok accounts stay active. Contact is easy. Enforcement is nearly zero. Takeaway 5. France and EU nations pass the problem. The UK has given France hundreds of millions of pounds to stop these crossings. What have we gotten for that money? Not much. Patrick shows how French police often ignore boats unless the media is present. In one case, They drove away from a beach where a migrant boat was clearly being prepared. When the cameras showed up, they came back, slashed the boat, and acted tough. Without the press, they do nothing. EU countries simply push the problem forward. Once a migrant sets foot on European soil, they are nearly impossible to remove. Countries like France or Italy prefer to see them move on to Britain. It is easier for them and politically cleaner. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. British authorities are failing completely. Despite having access to phone numbers, locations, voice messages, and even videos of armed smugglers, the National Crime Agency did very little. Patrick handed over all of this and expected action. Instead, nothing happened. No arrests, no shutdowns, not even a takedown of TikTok accounts. The official excuse is that they are working behind the scenes. But Christys points out that if real progress were happening, the government would show it off. There would be press releases and celebrations. But there is only silence. The agency is either overwhelmed, uninterested, or both. And the gangs keep growing. Takeaway 7. The public was never consulted. At no point did any major political party ask the public if they wanted tens of thousands of illegal migrants arriving every year. It was never in a manifesto. There was no vote. This has been done without permission. The British people are expected to accept it, pay for it, and not complain. That is why frustration is growing. Christys says the average citizen is being lied to and betrayed. In a country where even ordering a pizza now feels expensive, migrants are getting free hotels, legal aid, and housing priority. And all of this was decided without asking the people who fund it. Takeaway 8. The financial cost is massive. The numbers are staggering. Between 6 and 8 billion pounds are spent every year just on housing migrants in hotels. That does not include the costs of the NHS, school places, translation services, or legal support. Migrants are often fast-tracked to the top of housing lists due to homelessness risk. Even if they never work or pay taxes, the state covers everything. There is also profit being made. One man became a billionaire running migrant hotels and catering. Big contractors make money. Migrants stay for free. And the taxpayers foot the bill. Takeaway 9. Personal safety is being sacrificed. The risk is not just financial, it is physical. Patrick shares the story of a man in Hartlepool who was murdered by a migrant who had crossed 13 countries and said he wanted revenge for Gaza. The story was blocked from the media by the government at the time, claiming national security. No one explained why keeping the truth hidden was safer than telling the public. Patrick also mentions other cases where violent criminals stayed in Britain after prison because the law would not allow deportation. If a convicted rapist can stay, build a life, and even buy property abroad while claiming to be stateless, then something is deeply broken. Takeaway 10. The system rewards repeated failure. There is no clear limit to how many times someone can apply for asylum. Patrick mentions one case of a Nigerian woman who was rejected 7 times and finally stayed after claiming to belong to a banned group. There was no proof, just a story. In another case, a convicted criminal failed asylum multiple times, became a born-again Christian, and was allowed to stay, only to later take his own life and have a Muslim funeral. It would be funny if it were not so tragic. The system allows endless tries, and once someone is here, even if they break the law, it is nearly impossible to remove them. Britain is not just being overwhelmed, it is being targeted, used, and ignored by its own leaders. Migrants come here for a reason. They know the rules, the benefits, and the weaknesses, and they are not shy about it. Patrick Christys has shown us what is really happening, not what is reported in headlines, not what politicians say in speeches, but what people say in their own words when the cameras are off. The question now is simple. If this continues, what kind of country will Britain be in 10 years? And more urgently, Who is willing to stop it? If you found this eye-opening, then stay informed. Ask hard questions and never accept silence as an answer. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.